Shalom, brothers and sisters. 4 September 2025, and we are just days away from a blood moon coming on the 7th of September. And at that same time, things in Israel are heating up. The land is just full of turmoil and chaos. The whole world is collectively, especially in this month, working together to come against Israel and divide their land and create and recognize a Palestinian state. So let's look at what's happening in Israel. But before we do, Psalm 125 verse 2 says, "As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people, both now and forevermore." Genocide scholar blows whistle on anti-Israel association. A widely reported vote by an association of so-called scholars declaring Israel guilty of genocide was rigged to achieve a predetermined outcome, according to a member of the group that has now turned whistleblower. Color me surprised. The vote was pushed through without debate. No dissenting views were permitted. The authors of the resolution were not revealed. The non-scholars participated in the vote, and in fact, only 1 in 4 members of the group participated in the vote, meaning that an activist minority produced a result saying that Israel is guilty of genocide. It's not a scholarly thing, it's not a proven thing, it's not a factual thing. It's a predetermined move to make Israel look as bad to the world as they possibly can at a time such as this, specifically determined for what they have planned. Again, am I surprised? No. I read my Bible. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen last week condemned Israel's pursuit of Hamas terrorists in Gaza as very violent and unacceptable. She said Denmark is considering extending recognition to the non-existent state of Palestine, and Frederiksen said that Denmark intends to take advantage of its term as head of the European Union to punish Israel for defending itself. She said she is conferring with other EU members to impose political pressure and sanctions against both individual Israelis and Israel as a whole. To the Danes, brace yourself, blessings and curses. We've seen this many times in many countries. Israel's military crisis deepens as reservists refuse to fight in Gaza. The Israeli military is facing its worst manpower crisis in decades as tens of thousands of reservists refuse to report for duty in the latest escalation of the Gaza war. The army has called up roughly 60,000 reservists to find many refusing to participate in what they call a political war with no clear end. It isn't about fatigue, it's moral collapse. Some units now only have 50 to 70% of reservists reporting for duty. If Netanyahu won't stop the war, his own soldiers might. So a little bit of upheaval and chaos there. In a recent poll in Israel, 65% of Israelis still support the efforts to go into Gaza City and end the war and call it a day. 32% are opposed. So even though they're having this upheaval within, which is fatigue, this has been going on for quite some time, and a lot of people have been dying in the process, it is understood that that is what this is. The majority still want him to go in and wrap this up. Trump told Israel to finish Hamas, no more negotiations. President Donald Trump urged Netanyahu to pursue a swift and decisive victory over Hamas, the Israeli leader told his cabinet meeting. According to the Hebrew language media reports, Netanyahu informed senior ministers that Trump gave Israel the green light for a massive operation in Gaza City aimed at delivering a final defeat to Hamas. Now again, just my opinion and where I'm sitting, why does Israel need a green light from Donald Trump? You're a sovereign country. Should you not be doing what you need to do and make sure your country's happy with what you're doing. Why are you seeking a green light on this side? To keep political friendships going and arms supplies? Who knows? But I don't get why you have to wait on Donald Trump to get a green light to do something that you know you need to do and that your people want you to do and get done. Israel wants to destroy all of Palestine. Mahmoud Abbas tells Arab media. Palestinian Authority Mahmoud Abbas, president of the PA, told Al Arabiya and Al Haddad that Netanyahu does not want a fully fledged Palestinian state. Correct, as most Israelis don't, because you've proven exactly who you are. We recognized Israel since 1988, yet Israel prevents the establishment of a Palestinian state. This man lies so much, he's forgotten what truth is if it was ever evident in his upbringing or his life. They've never recognized Israel. To this day, them and most of the world refer to Israel as the occupiers. So that's not recognizing Israel as a legitimate country. That's calling them an illegal entity occupying a place that does not belong to them. So you've recognized Israel since 1988. No, you haven't. Not at all. And you still encourage terrorism against Jews and civilians. And the worse the terror, the more you pay in your pay to slay campaign. But the world will take Abbas seriously and will take that message and spread it everywhere, regardless of looking at who he really is and who he represents. Gaza airdrops halted. Jordan, Egypt pull back. Land convoys seen as sufficient. Jordan and Egypt suspended their Gaza aid airdrops as Israeli officials explained enough aid enters by land, dismissing famine concerns and citing the limited impact of flights. Jordan and Egypt help poor Gazans with paltry PR gestures like airdrops. But the far larger reality is they won't unfreeze their borders to let them come in as immigrants. Brilliant. So that's the truth. It looks great for the world media. Oh, look, I'm flying my aeroplane over Gaza. I'm dropping my 12 Snickers bars. Woo! I saved a child. There is so many tons of aid just sitting there that the UN's not giving to them. It's not Israel's fault. It's gone in. The airdrops is just a PR campaign to show, oh, we're doing our part. Look, we can fly. We can drop things out of the back. Look, it's landing. It's ridiculous. Open your borders. Take them in as immigrants. Save them from the horror that they're living amongst. No, not going to do that. We don't want them. You have to have them. You see the hypocrisy and the stupidity on display. Then the Gaza aid flotilla, this again, round 2, departs Barcelona again after being forced back by storm. I think even God's going. A Gaza-bound flotilla set sail for the second time after a fierce Mediterranean wind on Monday forced a mission carrying humanitarian aid and hundreds of pro-Palestinian activists, including Greta, to return to Barcelona. The global Sumut flotilla, made up of around 20 boats, is expected to arrive in Gaza in mid-September. Activists setting sail will have Mandla Mandela with them, leading the charge for the South African flotilla. Activist and grandson of Nelson Mandela, Mandla Mandela, has expressed pride, because pride's a good thing, before the fall, in being part of the largest civilian flotilla to date to break Israel's siege on Gaza, along with 9 other South Africans. He went on to say that 1 million Palestinians are being starved to death with all of that aid the UN's not supplying. But anyway, who is the one who is perpetuating the violence? Who is the one that is a threat, not only to Palestinians, but to you and me and the entire global population? Apartheid Israel. And there he goes, Mandla Mandela, saying exactly what the whole world's feeling. Israel's very existence is a threat to every individual on the planet and everyone in the entire global population, all of you are at danger because Jews exist. See the problem yet? You see the devil's hand yet? They don't represent all South Africans. There are a lot of us who are fully 100% standing up and saying we stand with and pray for Israel. Ben-Gvir has an amazing plan for these guys to designate the global Sumut flotilla activists as terrorists and then seize their boats. Activists will then be held in prisons for terrorists and will be denied special privileges such as television, radio, and specialized foods. Under the new suggested directive, all activists arrested in connection with the flotilla will be detained in Israel's Ketziot and Daman prisons, which are used to hold terrorists under stringent conditions reserved for security prisoners. The activists will be held in prolonged detention, unlike previous practice of releasing detainees after overnight stays. Activists will be denied special privileges, and in an effort to impose a clear message, this will show we do not support terrorism being supported. We will not allow individuals who support it to live in comfort. They will face the full consequence of their actions. Ben-Gvir. So whether they'll allow that or do that or not will be really interesting to see. But I think it would be brilliant. Maybe make all those people, Greta and Mandla Mandela and the rest of them, think twice about being on the boat when it approaches Israeli waters, because things might get really rough for you. On the other hand, though, I personally wish the Israeli Navy would just go out, meet them in the ocean, turn them around and send them on their happy way and not give them the free press and everything that they're trying to get out of this. Because the minute they detain them and take them anywhere, even with Ben-Gvir's plan, which I think would be hilarious, and give them a reality check, it's going to give them more impetus for their whole fake campaign against Israel and more to say, as Greta has been doing since her last roundup. So, yeah, not a dull moment in Israel at all at any moment. Please continue to pray for all in Israel, in Gaza, in the surrounding countries, for more and more people to come to a saving grace knowledge of Jesus Christ while there is time. Romans 10 verse 1 says it the best for me, and that is, brothers and sisters, my heart's desire and prayer to God for the Israelites is that they may be saved. That is my overwhelming prayer and heart for the Israelites, that they may be saved. God bless. Keep looking up. Shalom.